Hi guys, it's me again, KHYIO. I was just going to make a little bit more detailed video. I'm going to start out at the grounding radials on the ground. There's 16 of these radials and they're attached with a hose clamp right here on the bottom. I just put it on the ground just to keep the elements close to the ground. I did not bury the radials. I left them above ground, as you can see. And what I did is I took these, because I have a bunch of wire. My radials are 16.5 feet long. This is 12 gauge solid insulated wire. I just cut it about 6 inches, fold it in half, and then what you do is take the element, take it to where, right here. I already have one right there. It's December 14th, guys, in Ohio, so I'm not expecting this to happen today, but it's pretty nice. And so what you do is you take the little thing like that. You can use a hammer if you choose, and just kind of put it over top of the ground radial and shove it down. The ground's awfully soft for December in Ohio. Anyway, it's 40 meter ground mounted vertical. As I said, I thought it should work like a fan dipole, but it's now I'm going to call it a ground mounted fan dipole. Here's the hose clamp just above the feed point, guys, right here. This wire right here is for 80 meter, and I just attached it underneath the hose clamp, tighten it down. The 80 meter wire minus the sun goes up to there, and then it shoots across the top of the house that way to a pine tree behind me. I'm not going to show you the pine tree behind me. This right here looks like the 20 meter wire. Yeah, this is 20 meter wire, and it goes up into that tree, and then right next to it is a 10 meter wire, and it goes up to the other side of that same tree. And back here in the back, 17 meter, and it goes up into that tree right there. That's my fan dipole, guys. 17 meter, flat match all the way across the band. 10 meter, from 28.2 to about 28.6, 28.7, less than a 1.3. I'm sorry, 10 meter. That's 10 meter, 28.2 to about 28.6, 28.7, thereabout. 20 meter right here. The general portion of the band, which is what I was tuning it for, from about 14.175 to the top of the band, it's less than a 1.2. Climbs about a 1.3 as you get close to the top of the band. Keep these elements spread out a little bit, guys. Don't put one above the other. I found out that they really interfere with each other after that. On this antenna, like I said, after I added all these elements, it was no longer resonant for the 40 meter vertical on 15 meter, which I reported in the first video. I did not change anything. However, the antenna tuner for my radio, which is a Kenwood TS2000, is able to tune it on every other band that I do not have right here, being 17, 10, 20, 80, and the 40 meter ground mounted vertical. When I get done with the antenna, I'm going to have PVC pipe slid over top of this piece of pipe all the way down. There's going to be a little space above the top of it, and then this whole antenna here, the whole thing, is going to slide down into that PVC pipe and end up maybe a foot above the top of this pipe. I believe it to be sturdy enough it'll hold the antenna up in the air, and I'm just going to put the U-clamps on it just to make sure. And that's it, guys. Ground line, feed line, just regular 9913. It goes over to the shack. Hi, Gracie. That's my dog. That's her. Her name's Gracie. I think she looks like Toto. She's a Cairn Terrier, so that's where she came about. 33 feet, 7 inches. And we've had a couple of windstorms, and I've stood out here and watched it blow around like a fishing rod. But it's still standing. It hasn't moved a bit. Not even loosened or anything, guys. That's my 40 meter ground mounted vertical. And what I would do if you're going to try these elements here, I can give you guys details. If you're going to try these, I'm going to call them fan dipole elements, I guess. Cut them for length using the formula 234 divided by the frequency in use, and give them a couple of feet extra, so you got some room to play with, because they are going to be longer and or shorter because of resonance and reactance to other wires on the antenna. I worked 5 actually, VE7s after I got done this morning with the 10 meter portion of the wire. With 100 watts, I worked like 5 stations, I believe it was. I have the calls written down in the house. I could probably go in and get those. But I just wanted to make this video and show you guys. K8YIO@yahoo.com. That's my email address. I'm usually on 7200 in the morning. You might hear me on 3850 in the evening time. Maybe 3827. So if you hear us, give us a holler. Give us a report. If you hear us out in DX, give us a report. We'd really appreciate it. And this is my antenna, and I'll make another video of it if it survives the winter. But it's already survived a couple of 40 and 30 mile an hour gusts, and about a month ago or so, we had that 60 mile an hour wind, and it survived that. So I'm hoping it'll stand up. K8YIO, guys. I guess I'll see you on the next antenna, which I plan on trying to make something for 2 meter. Oh, speaking of 2 meter, I'll just show you guys my halfway something. It's a funny story, and then I'll end the video here. There's a 2 meter J-pole up here on the roof, if you can see that. Yeah, I guess you probably can see it a little bit. It's the one on the right-hand side there of the chimney. I made that antenna for my friend, KC8PHB, about 17 years ago when I elmered him in the ham radio. We cut it for 147,550. We capped the bottom and the top of it so no water would ever get into it. I told him if he got rid of the J-pole to give it to the next ham that really needed it. He gave it to KC8WHV, who had it for about 9 years. I recently got back on VHF, UHF, and I spoke to my friend Kevin, and he gave me the J-pole and told me it was the one that I gave Bob. So my J-pole is now 17 years old, and it's still 1.1 to 1 on 147,550 where we use it. Funny antenna stories, guys. Theory's not always correct. Antennas are dumb animals, as I say. You can teach them all the theory you want to. That doesn't necessarily mean because the formula tells you that this is the length, that that's going to be the length. So play with them a little bit, guys. Enjoy the hobby, and keep in touch. K8YIO, Columbus, Ohio.